So here we have this Jik Bead metal cutter attachment. Now, full disclosure, this is a paid review, but the opinions in this video are my own. Alright, so it came packaged really well. It also comes with this little user manual to help you set it up. And here's the cutter. It feels pretty sturdy. The shell here is made of plastic. It has a bit of weight to it. And then of course the shears here are made of metal. And then this bracket here is also made of plastic. It looks like it has a bit of adjustability, so it'll fit a range of different size drills. It has a standard 1/4 inch shank, and you can attach it to an impact gun or a drill. And to test it out, I'm going to be using this M18 Milwaukee drill. Just going to slide it over the shank, tighten it down, and then you just find a good spot to clip this piece onto. Just fit it over like that, and then tighten this down. It looks like the best spot on this drill is going to be the battery, so that's where I locked it onto. And just from twisting this down with my fingers, this has a really nice and tight grip. And you can get an Allen wrench to tighten this thing up, but I don't think that'll be necessary. But anyway, let's go ahead and test it out on some metal to see how well it works. Here I have some 30 gauge metal, and it should have no problem cutting this because it's rated for up to 18 gauge metal. And it actually worked really well. That was super smooth and cut it really easily. And it actually leaves a nice clean edge. Of course, it's still going to be a little bit sharp, but it's not jagged or anything, so that's nice. That being said, this end here is a little bit wavy. But anyway, let's go ahead and bump up the speed here and try it again. And that actually works even better. That was super quick. Of course, it did kind of stop here at the end where it's quite a bit thicker, but that's expected. Cutting a curve to the right is a little bit difficult, but you can cut a pretty tight curve to the left. So yeah, I'm actually really happy at how well that worked on this 30 gauge metal. It's super easy and quick to use, but I do want to try it out on something a bit thicker. And for that, I'm going to use this bracket right here. This is made out of stainless steel. And I'm not sure the exact thickness of this, but I think it's pretty close to 18 gauge. Getting it started was just a little bit more difficult, but as you can see, it actually cuts it pretty easily. And I gotta say, I'm actually really happy with that. It cut this pretty thin strip, which I didn't think it was going to be able to do. Of course, it was easier to cut the 30 gauge metal, but it still cut this thicker metal with pretty much no problem at all. And after that little bit of cutting, let's take a look at the teeth. This side here looks pretty good, basically no damage on that. Flipping it over, it does look like it developed a little bit of a burr, but it still cuts just fine. And yeah, I mean, overall, this thing worked really well. The cutters made it super easy to just slice through that metal. The bracket also stayed nice and tight. And yeah, I mean, this thing works great, so I hope that was helpful.